The trails we're riding today are not going to be suitable for everyone. They're steep, technical and formidable. And it's safe to say I had my own reservations when I arrived. That is steep. That is much steeper than I thought. But I've not enjoyed a trail this much in ages. So welcome to One Planet Adventure in Llandegla, and these are the natural selection trails. The natural selection trails are a group of completely natural, black graded downhill trails at the far end of the forest. They're found by riding the red trail. What makes these trails special is that they've been left as a completely natural surface, just like an off-piste trail, except we're at a trail centre. Now, trail centres usually cover their trails with a hard-packed surface to protect them so they can be ridden by thousands of people all year round. The natural surface of these trails means that they'll change slightly with every rider, and their condition will change drastically between the different seasons. So in theory, they'll be slightly different every time you ride them. I actually rode the third natural selection trail back a year or so ago, but arriving today, nothing prepared me for how much things have changed. This is the approach to the trails today, and this is the same trail a year or so ago. The difference between these two shots is immense. The area has been pretty heavily felled, completely changing the landscape of these trails. They're almost unrecognisable. So today I'm going to ride all the available trails I can to see what condition they're in and to see if everything's still rideable. Without the tree cover, you really get an idea of just how steep this section of the forest is. Oh my god, look how steep that is. And also just how dry and loose it all looks, which could make for some interesting riding. It's so loose and dusty. Looks great, let's give it a go. So let's get straight to it. Dropping into the first trail, you turn immediately left down a very steep rocky entrance. The GoPro really isn't doing justice to just how steep these trails really are here, and anyone who's ridden these will know exactly what I mean. Without the trees, it can be tricky to see the line in some places, like here when I take a slight detour, but manage to rediscover my way pretty easily. As well as being steep, the terrain here looks like you're riding on the surface of Mars. In today's conditions, it's loose and rocky, so as well as good bike skills, you need to keep your eyes on the trail. It's amazing just how different the trails look without the trees, and with the increased vision, I think they feel a lot easier, even if the actual trail difficulty hasn't changed. But hopefully, as these trails settle in and more people ride them, I'm sure some more kickers and features will open up, making them even better. At less than a minute long, these trails aren't the longest you'll ever ride, but they certainly pack in a punch. Finishing off with this steep exit down onto the fire road. Whew. Once you're at the bottom, to get back to the top, there's a very convenient fire road push-up track. As you can imagine, it's relatively steep, but it only takes 10-ish minutes on a manual bike, and of course even less on an e-bike, so you can easily fit in a few laps. This is slightly amusing. For a black trail, that sign looks suspiciously blue to me. Bet someone's come a cropper thinking that's a blue trail, because it definitely isn't. Starting from the same place, the second trail traverses along the top of the hill. It may not start as steeply as the first one, but rest assured these trails are definitely not a blue grade as the arrow might suggest. Here you take a sharp left-hand turn down the steep hillside. This is seemingly a lot of rooty drops on loose pebbles into dusty corners. And I can tell you it's superb fun. Retaining the steepness and technical nature of the first trail, this second one seems to flow even better. Either way, both of these trails offer an awesome technical challenge and some amazing riding. As they get ridden in, these trails will change and evolve and eventually settle into a chosen line. It will be really interesting to see how these trails develop over time. If you're someone who loves riding natural trails, then these are definitely worth a visit, and honestly, for a trail centre, these are brilliant. Wow. So after that, I headed back up the fire road again, ready to explore the third and final trail. This third trail is the one that I'd ridden before a year or so ago. I don't remember any particular features as such, but I remember it feeling a lot harder than the other two trails that I've just ridden. As you can see, it's a very steep, tight and rooty trail, a true black graded difficulty with plenty to catch you out. Sounds like a challenge. So I dropped in today to see how the trail is managed with all the felling and to see if I still have what it takes to ride it. As I made my way along the top section, it wasn't long before I realised just how different this trail is from last time. Well, that's not a trail anymore. It appears that this trail is no longer rideable. Gutted. So I swear there used to be 3 lines, and as you've just seen, the third one isn't open. I guess when they filled the area, they just didn't cut that third one back in. With the tools and things still laying around the area, hopefully they're working to open this third line again in the near future, because these trails are just too good to let them go to ruin. So there you have it, the natural selection trails. I can genuinely say that these two are awesome. I wasn't quite sure how natural trails at a trail centre would work due to the high volume of traffic they'd get, but these are brilliant and I will definitely be riding them again. So what do you think of trails like this at trail centres, and would you like to see more of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so put them down in the comments. So thanks for watching today. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.